one is simple. Liv Morgan is back, and Liv Dom is back. The King of the Luchadors, Dirty Dominik Mysterio, is now a two-time Intercontinental Champion. He beat John Cena, but not alone. Finn and JD, Raquel and Roxanne, and Liv Morgan sealed the deal with helping Dirty Dom win by Liv having the coldest swerves we've seen in a minute. So, welcome. My name is Writer Maven. I am the host of the Wrestling Receipts podcast. I cover all things Judgment Day, Dom, Liv, Raquel, Finn, JD, Roxanne, Porcolito, and El Grande Americano, and Los Americanos. The Survivor Series War Games review is entitled Liv Dom Rises because boy did they rise. Now I know y'all are all wondering, am I happy Liv is back? Yes, I am. Ecstatic even. Am I retracting anything about RoxDom? No. I said Survivor Series would be the last chance for Liv to return this year, and I was right. Judgment Day's story can finally roll forward with Liv's return instead of stalling like it was. And RoxDom is still not disproven. Obsession, tension, whatever. The story can go a lot of different ways. And remember, I never said that Dom would cheat. It's a possibility, but not that he would cheat. And Roxanne hit her pop rocks on John Cena at a PLE. Y'all cannot tell me nothing. I told y'all she was practicing that pop rocks or something, and she hit it on John Cena. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Everybody said I was wrong about that, and looky, she hit it on John Cena of all people. Can't tell me nothing. But let's go ahead and go on and get into the Survivor Series review, shall we? First up is Dominik Mysterio versus John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship. Dom was accompanied by Roxanne and Raquel. Dom has sick new gear and a sick new mask, paying tribute to, was it Hayabusa or Hayabushi? One of those guys. Raquel and Roxanne also look great. I love their looks. And Roxanne is still giving Dom the eyes, so I did notice that in that entrance. Match went on as usual until Dom had the fake injury spot. Raquel then comes in and hits the Tejana bomb on John Cena, and Roxanne hit the pop rocks. Dom hit a frog splash to get the pin, but the pin attempt was waved off due to the ref noticing Raquel and Roxanne and tossing them from ringside. Match continues, and Cena would hit an AA on Dom, which he kicks out of. Cena would go for the STFU, and Dom would reach the ropes. And then while the referee is backing up John Cena, Dom would unzip his boot. So when John goes to pull Dom off again off the ropes, the boot slips off. That gets Dom to get John Cena into another 619, and then that sends Cena into the ref. Ref bump, ref goes to the outside. With the ref done, Finn and JD come out to attack John Cena. And note, Finn was not being a demented demon here. He was not hesitating. He was all in on the attack with JD. John would avoid like the moonsault and coup de grace attempts by Finn and JD and would knock them into a corner and then hit them with a double AA for their efforts. Ref is still down at this point. Dom is over there by the IC title and he brings the IC title into the ring. And then after this, Liv Morgan's music hits. He gets into the ring, has a stare down with Dom. Dom holds out his arms like he's trying to welcome her back, and then Liv hits him. John was flabbergasted, and I have a picture of this where he's just doing some amazing acting here. He was absolutely flabbergasted. Liv jumps into Cena's arms and then does this amazing acting job where her eyes change. Like you can literally see her eyes change when you're watching this moment here. He then jumps down off of Cena and kicks Cena in the balls. This lines up Cena again to hit the Dom. Lines up Dom to hit the C619 onto Cena, and Liv hits the belt on Cena, and then that sets up another flag splash for Dom to win. Now, this swerve was masterfully done. It's overbooked, but I love overbooking. Everybody helped Dom. And no matter what they say, the Judgment Day did help Dom. You can argue if it was ineffective or not. Or was, like, you can argue that it was an effective job or was it not, was it botched, whatever. but they did help. There was no hesitation from Raquel and Roxanne where people were trying to say that they would turn on Dom. They were trying to say that Finn and JD would turn on Dom, but it wasn't. They were all in on helping Dom, which means that Raquel, when she said that the Judgment Day is one big happy family, she was right. They were helping Dom, and then Dom said that Judgment Day would help him, and they did. You can, like I said, you could argue for the effectiveness of said help, but they did help. Um, Again, Roxanne hit that pop rocks, and you cannot tell me nothing. We will see how things turn on Monday. We're probably gonna have them opening Raw, which is nice, and we're gonna have Dom gloating, which is good too, because he needs that. And I could just imagine Dom gloating, and this is why you needed Dom heel, because he can gloat about this from Kingdom Come, because you cannot take the moment away of Dom beating John Cena away from him, despite on how he did it. And like I said, Liv Morgan's return was amazing. It was beautifully done. Her acting is superb. You cannot take that away. And no, I am not mad at her returning. I was thinking she was going to come back at Royal Rumble because I really still don't think there's a spot for her yet. But who knows, But I'll get into that later. Um, Other notes. Liv appeared in the WrestleMania 42 ad, so her return is official. And I also feel with this WrestleMania 42 ad, I kind of feel for the other ladies who helped set up the feuds for the ladies in this ad, because they're pretty much left off. We don't have a Bailey in this ad. We don't have Lyra in this ad. Roxanne and Raquel, they were all used to set up feuds with Asuka and Kairi and Rhea and Io. There's no Nia here, which was a big portion of Tiffany's feud. And Stephanie Vaquer, even though I don't get her character and I'm not the biggest fan of hers right now, she wasn't in this ad at all. So how can you leave off your women's world champ off the ad? You have Jade there, but not Stephanie. You see what I mean? That's my major issue with this ad. Like, everybody else deserves to be on there. Yeah, that's good, whatever, and that's cool. But I feel for the other ladies. Like, I feel for the Bailey, especially Bailey. Like, if there's gonna be a person that needed to be in this ad, it should have been Bailey, just because of what she's been doing. But she's not on there. I'm hoping, just like with the guys, I'm hoping they do like a secondary ad spot where we have some of these ladies on there and some of the guys too. Like, I would want to see a Dom. I would like to see a Braun Breaker. I would like to see a Bronson Reed. I would like to see Kairi and Asuka be on these ads. Like, I want these opportunities for these other people as well, other wrestlers, especially when they've been holding it down for the most of the year like everybody else. Liv also has some new merch, red merch actually, and it's still kind of sloppily done, but it's a red merch, and it talks about for revenge. I gotta ask again too, and no, I am still saying that Roxanne and Raquel have not done enough for revenge. Like, what's the revenge against? The only people I can see her having revenge against is possibly Cody and possibly Finn if they want to go in that direction. But anybody else, I can't see it right now. That's why I was always harping that Raquel and Roxanne needed to do more, because if they started with Liv going against Raquel and Roxanne, they haven't really done much. And no, Roxanne giving Dom the eyes is not something. Yeah, it's a little bit, but it's not where you're getting this whole revenge story. Like, Liv Morgan's revenge tour against Rhea was good because Rhea took her out. Rhea was the one that betrayed her. Like, they had a whole history together of betrayals and getting hurt. That's what made the revenge tour work. Roxanne doesn't have that. And Raquel, she's her sister, but even with that, there's history they could go on against there, but Raquel hasn't really done anything to Liv either. In fact, she's actually been kind of sticking up for Liv, like when she called Dom a habitual cheater. So she's been kind of sticking up for Liv in her own way and saying, like, Liv wouldn't want this. So there needs to be something there if it's going to be some kind of revenge against Raquel and Roxanne if they're going in that direction. You see what I mean? Because if she comes straight out the gate, I'm looking at her side eyes like, because what are you doing? Also, some other notes. Judgment Day looks like it's going to reset to being one big happy family. I am not expecting anything really major to happen until next year. Why am I saying that? Because we got about like 2 Mondays until Saturday Night Main Event, and I think that's going to be dominated with John Cena's tournament and everything like that. And then whatever they're doing with the Vision and CM Punk and Roman Reigns and all that, yada yada yada. So I think that's going to dominate. You're going to have Liv and Dom there, and you might get some shadiness between Liv and Finn here or there, and maybe some shadiness between Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne. But I don't think we're going to get major advancement. So that's why I think everything reset back to a one big happy family these past 2 weeks, because they can't really move forward. They couldn't really move forward like they wanted to on this. Um, And yeah, so I think once we get to next year and we're officially on the road to WrestleMania, that's when we start picking things up regarding Judgment Day and the story. Because now, if Liv comes in and starts declaring, like going after Stephanie when Raquel is there, and like if Liv like tries to supersede her, there's probably going to be some tension there, because you just got back, but I was the one here fighting Stephanie, and Roxanne was here fighting Stephanie, and then here you come, you know, and it isn't and wasn't Liv's be supposed to be with Nikki, so like yeah, like the whole thing is still messed up storyline wise, but like I said, I think things won't get the ball rolling regarding Judgment Day until early next year. Also, RoxDom is still alive until proven otherwise. I am saying that. And like I said, it's not be a cheating situation. Please get that, please understand that. I have not said he would cheat. I'm saying with RoxDom, there's lots of different possibilities it can go. It could be they cheat straight up. It could mean I've done something wrong and I regret it. It could mean it's not what it looks like, where it looks like Dom cheated, but he didn't. It could be where Roxanne is obsessed with Dom because she has been giving him eyes all this time. You can go with that. You could go with a lot of different ways for RoxDom. I'm just saying RoxDom because it's just easier to say. But as I said on the X, no matter what happens, I would not be surprised if any of these situations happen. The WWE is going to WWE. So, you can't exactly rule down RoxDom out. And with Liv Dom returning, this is a calm before the storm situation. Like, I wasn't expecting like Liv to return and then we were right. She runs back right dab into RoxDom because they hadn't set it up that way just yet. I'm just saying that they needed to get the storyline set up properly, and they still haven't done it. So I'm just still hoping that they do that, because if Liv return, I really hope that Roxanne and Raquel are not thrown to the wayside. That's why I always advocate for them. Regardless of what happens, Liv Dom leaves and go on their own or what. Raquel and Roxanne need to be set up. They should not be falling by the wayside just because their storyline got fucked up because the WWE refused to do what they needed to do earlier this year. You see what I mean? I hope for them it gets the ball rolling. Dom and Finn, I don't really worry about all that much. The trigger needs to be pulled on that, but I don't really worry about that because that's a men's feud. But when it comes to Raquel and Roxanne, I'm really hoping that it gets going for them so they can be properly set up and supported within the storyline. Like I don't want to see Liv be back and it's her running roughshod over everything and then Raquel and Roxanne fade into the background, That wouldn't be fair to them because like I said, they've been holding it down. It's kind of like what's going on with Bayley and Lyra. Like they were holding it down with Becky and now they haven't been nowhere to be found for like a week or two. Other Survivor Series quick hits. Women's War Games, Team Rhea wins because of course her team wins. The match was decent, but it was just there. Lash being the last entry into this match was foul. That should have been Becky. Lash should have came in the middle, because when she came out, it was just nothing but crickets, and I felt so bad for her. Like, she shouldn't have been in, especially after Rhea Ripley. Like, how are you going to have Lash Legend be the last entry after Rhea fucking Ripley? But that whole match was just the same. Stephanie versus Nikki. Stephanie wins. Match dragged, and that match shouldn't have lasted as long as it was. I don't know what they're doing with Stephanie, but her booking ain't it, and that's why I'm starting to feel bad for her now. I don't, when I see booking not favoring these wrestlers, especially in the positions they've been put in, I start feeling bad for her. And Stephanie is one of those. I'm still not a big fan of hers, but she deserves a lot more than what she's been given right now. And just her going against Nikki with nothing to be said for it. So, I mean, it was just like, it was just there. We That match probably should have been on the card. That match should have probably been like maybe a Chelsea match, maybe Chelsea versus Gulia or something like that. Something. Men's War Games. Division wins after a masked wrestler attacked and curb stomped Punk. Dead finish. Like, I really don't care. I know people have said, from what I've seen, from what Sean Ross has said, they said that person is Austin Theory. And some people have said you can tell by his ass if you look at the pictures that come from that match. So I don't know. I don't care. I'm hoping that it is Austin Theory just to give him something to do, because that's another wrestler that I thought has been given a Raw deal. But it is what it is. Not interested. Oh, that was just a match. Braun Breaker won a match, and that's it. Some final notes. Like I said, Liv Dom is back. Liv Morgan is back. Dom is now a two-time Intercontinental Champion. The Judgment Day have reset back to being a one big happy family, and I think this will happen for the rest of the year. RoxDom is still a possibility until it is completely squashed, especially with how Roxanne was looking at Dom and Dom's answers in certain interviews. And I know people are going to challenge me on that, and I'm just going to say it's just the way Dom's answers, and I have to break that down some more, and I got to write it down, but I'll probably talk about that later. Current theories that I have been kicking out with a friend. Current theories are either Liv being super clingy to Dom, which is a possibility. There is Liv being the only one to help Dom, because she was the one that really got him the title back. Also, it can be said that Liv is there for the highs and not the lows. This is just an opinion. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not downplaying what Liv done tonight. It's just that it's a thought, and I'm basing this off of her not really posting anything regarding Dom's loss. I still find that weird. And that's it. Survivor Series gave Liv Dom. Judgment Day reset. RoxDom is still in play. Monday will tell us if it's going to be Liv Dom versus the world or something else entirely. Either way, I win because RoxDom did a pop rocks, and y'all still can't tell me nothing. And that's it.